Hey guys, welcome back. This video is on how to prepare your firearms so they work in frigid temperatures and cold, wet conditions. So like just about anything, it's in how you prepare the item to be used. In the cold, that's really it. It's about preparation, like a lot of stuff. Simply put, using the correct products, allowing the firearm knife or axe, for example, to adjust to the climate it will be used in, will save you trouble with rust, parts breaking, and failure to function in some cases. For those of you who want this information in written form, I will leave it at the back of the video so you can actually just copy it down. And so you can actually skip to the end if you want, and I'll put information on some added steps for gas guns like AR-15s at the end as well. Please, though, if you find the information useful, hit the like, consider subscribing, and share the information with your friends and families who also share our love of the outdoors and for the shooting sports. All right, well, the first step in preparing your firearms is selecting the proper cleaning products. When it comes to cleaning bores, I exclusively use BoreTech Eliminator for cleaning the rifle bore. This product does not contain ammonia. Ammonia is bad juju for firearms. Ammonia will destroy barrels and rifling if left on or in the weapon. BoreTech will not, and it is safe to leave on even overnight for heavy fouling. You run another wet patch through it and that will wipe everything out. Then go through the rest of your process. BoreTech also does an excellent job preventing rust. I know this because I carry every day, and sometimes in really hot conditions where my sweat would actually damage my pistol or my knife if the BoreTech didn't work. The second step is to clean and prepare the external non-moving surfaces for exposure to damp and cold. We do this by preparing the surface using break-free CLP, the good old stuff. The stuff's been around for decades and decades. This product is what the military uses, and even in extensive civilian testing by individuals I've read their tests from against many other products, it does the best overall. I have not seen anything else that performs as well overall. Apply this product to external parts like barrels, exteriors, bolt handles, and leave the product on these surfaces for at least 4 hours, and then wipe off the residue. You could leave it on there for a day if you want to, it won't hurt it. If you have surface rust that is not deep, you may even find the added bonus of seeing that surface rust actually lift and come off as the CLP soaks underneath and into the pores in the steel. The third step I take concerns semi-auto firearms. This step involves removing oils and greases from the bolt assembly. Any of those moving internal parts. I want to get that oil, I want to get that grease off there. And I want to have these moving parts so that these products don't solidify and interfere with their movements. Oils and greases tend to become thicker in colder weather. And even oils can act like a grease if it is cold enough. So the viscosity basically becomes thicker and so on. So I use a product from Otis, a Smart Gun Care System, mission critical, and I wipe down all the internal parts and I replace it with their dry lube. So it's worth mentioning that locking lugs and bolt guns also still need to be greased where they lock up inside. There are greases out there that I've seen attract water, causing rust in a short time. I recommend using Pro Gold or Battle-Born greases only. Look at these guys right here, so you recognize the label. Sorry, one's upside down. I have seen red greases personally nearly ruin my firearms in a very short period of time. And then the next step in this process is to let your firearms or other outdoor items such as knives, axes, etc., adjust to the cold before using them. This means that you should keep them in a safe, secure location that's unheated so that it can adapt to the cold of the outside and not just instantly attract moisture, for instance. And so this means in a trunk or under a canopy in the back of your vehicle, wherever it's safe and secure, where you can do this. If it's not safe and secure, don't put them there. You do this while you're traveling to the site of the hunt or your shoot or whatever you're doing, and you'll be good to go. And the same goes for returning to a warm home, possibly the damp interior of a home, unless it's wood heated. If you suddenly introduce these items into that warm, damp temperature, the cold item is going to attract moisture that's going to go everywhere, inside and outside, and it's going to rust. If my firearms are covered in snow or have been rained on while I take them apart, I will take them apart and wipe them down as much as I can. I will then disable them, taking great care to do that properly, and taking bolts out and so on, and put them near a moving source of warm, dry air until I feel that the moisture in those little hidden nooks and crannies has evaporated. This done, I follow it by another coat of a very, very light coat of CLP. You do not need much of this stuff, and you shouldn't be able to wipe it off your hand when you're done. So make certain that you do not leave items in your wet bags, or when you do bring them in, they're going to rust once that snow melts. And you could end up with a rusty, ruined firearm or knife. The more slowly you introduce your items to the change in temperature, the better either way. So guys, that's it. It is really quite simple, but you do need these products. So once again, Vortec Eliminator, this stuff has doubled in price in the last few years. It will last you for years with this one container. CLP, this is the mil spec CLP from Break Free specifically. This is the one to get. In a pinch, this will do everything, including cleaning barrels. All right, for gas guns, moving parts, and so on, you want to use Otis Smart Gun Care Mission Critical. This is also used by the military, one of these. And it comes with two containers, two little spritz containers, and a cloth to wipe down. The cleaner is to remove oils and greases, and then the other one is your actual dry lube that you're going to put on. And it is a fantastic product as well, and that can make the difference between an AR cycling and not cycling, especially when it comes to something like a 224, which is actually a little less pressure than a 223, if I recall. Anyway, I know that round is more susceptible to cycling issues in the cold. One of the reasons that happens is because the aluminum outer and the tight fit of the AR-15, that aluminum outer becomes tighter as aluminum shrinks a lot and grows a lot when it's when temperature is changed. So by getting that grease and oil out and putting something in there as a dry lube that's just a film, you're giving that bolt assembly a little bit more room to move back and forth. So yeah, and if you live, where I do, and it's basically like the armpit of Idaho, and it's some of the consistently coldest temperatures on average in the lower 48, well, or 49, whatever the heck it is, and this may save you some problems down the line. What I see when I don't do this is that the bolt won't actually lock back on a magazine on my final round. It'll go far enough back to cycle around in often, not always, if this isn't done. That I'm not actually taking the whole thing apart even. I'm just basically trying to get those bearing surfaces free of oil and grease, and then put this film on so that they will run. And I do this to all my firearms that have reciprocating parts if I'm going to use them in a cold or damp environment, including my shotgun. So yep, that's it. It's pretty simple. It involves a little bit of investment, maybe a bit of a hunt online, but I'll tell you, it is well worth it. It will keep your steel products that you use in the outdoors absolutely pristine, and they just get that nice patina without rusting away. I use this on axes, like I mentioned. I've actually used this on my pocket knife, which I've had for probably 18 years now. I have run and hiked and stuff with that thing in my pocket hundreds and hundreds of times, and that thing has yet to develop any rust since I initially did the CLP treatment when I first bought it. At that point, without the CLP, it did develop surface rust as soon as I ran with it, you know, moisture and salt. And we'll do that to steel, even if it's stainless. And this knife I've actually run through the dishwasher after getting it really gross and dirty, and it has not rusted since then. So I'm, like I say, a big fan of this stuff, break-free CLP. So I keep buying the, you know, quart containers, or in Canada in the liter containers. All right, guys, thanks for your patience, and we'll see you in the next one.